Michael,
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, sir. How are you?
Good. We just had we're just begin a new year here at the
I
Speaking Nerdy
know.
podcast. Yes, this is our first episode of the year, and it's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Tonight we're going to kind of talk about things that are coming up and some
Mhm.
things that has happened. A little bit of both, and you know, every year there's a tradition, and I decided for myself that from January the 1st, I'm going to watch nothing but 4K or higher videos.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my New Year's resolution.
You got me. You got
Yeah,
me.
that's good. I don't know what you mean by that, but no, but seriously, I did. I started a band.
You started a band?
I started, yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I call it 999 megabytes. It was pretty cool. I still don't have a gig, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good band.
That's a good band name.
Yeah. Be better if we had a gig.
Maybe we should just start this gig.
Well, we can do that.
It's the Speaker podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Pope.
I couldn't find the unmute button. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is it's beginning of the year. It's okay. It was a long
It's
year.
a rough start. It's a rough start.
It was a long year, my friend. It's okay.
It was 2022 was a long year.
It really was.
2020, we had 2020,
Yes.
and now we have 2022.
On a serious note, we had several. I don't know if you read about this. We've had several kidnappings throughout the tri-state area. I don't know if you read about that. A lot of people.
The tri-state area.
Yeah, this is not Phineas and Ferb, but yeah. Well, and I don't want to lose.
Okay.
But apparently, from what I've been reading, is that the kidnappers actually are a bunch of mimes.
A bunch of mimes.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I've heard
That
they do
is weird.
I've heard they've done some really unspeakable things to people.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay, well, I'm done.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
good.
This is gonna be.
It's gonna be one
the
of
dad
those.
joke show.
Yeah, basically. Basically, yeah.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
That's right.
Yeah,
That was from
yeah.
last week.
Yes.
Oh my
It's
goodness,
still appropriate.
it's very appropriate. I've been, it's funny this past year and some of the things I've started watching. You may have kind of a list of things that you found pretty interesting this year. I kind of part of the show we're talking about the past year, and we're going to talk about more about some things that are coming up, movies and things that we're kind of hope to see as well. It's going to be kind of a free for all because there's a lot of predictions or a lot of coming soon, movies and trailers and all kinds of good stuff. But I found myself, been watching Futurama a lot lately. So we had our show last week.
Yes.
But I think on New Year's Day, I watched Blade Runner. And then
the original or the new one?
original. No, the original.
Okay.
And
Good movie. Good movie.
it was a very good movie, and I
Good
enjoyed
book,
it.
too.
And then I watched the sequel, which
I liked
I
the
liked it.
sequel.
yeah, I held off. I hadn't seen the sequel before, so I started off
Oh,
watching.
okay.
So I watched the first one, and then I went ahead right to the second one.
Gotcha.
And so I mean it was good. It was good. I don't know what kind of closure I was hoping for, but it's very, it's sci-fi, right?
It is sci-fi, and
So
the first movie was kind of, there were question marks at the end.
mhm.
Is he or isn't he? And
Yeah.
they kind of, there's some question marks there again at the,
Yeah, definitely. So
yeah. So
but anyway, yeah.
but I enjoyed both of those movies. I thought they were good. I
Yeah.
thought they were well done.
I think we just do a couple of nerdy news. No, I've been joking, but seriously, and I know you reported on this too.
Yes.
Jeremy Renner, he had a altercation. Basically, I guess he was trying to help some family members. There was a snowplow involved.
Yes. I didn't know if they were related to him or if it was a family that he was just trying to help. But yeah, he and a snowplow did not get along.
Yeah, I think basically from the report, it says that he was run over by a piston bully, which is a over 14,000 pound snowblow.
Yeah, it is a huge machine. Some people call it a snow groomer.
So the actor was helping a family member who was stuck in the snow. And then I guess they say the piston bully began to roll away when Jeremy Renner, he attempted to get back into the vehicle. He was crushed beneath it, suffering serious injuries. I was reading a little bit later. He said they rushed to the hospital, of course. He underwent 2 surgeries. But I think it was a couple of days ago, he tweeted, which was, he just kind of tweeted, a thank you for all the kind words. And I mean, he looks roughed up. I hope I hope a speedy recovery for him because he is one of my favorites.
Yep.
And so anyway,
Good actor.
Very good actor. Very good actor. Got a lot going on. We have. I made you watch this. Basically, it's Renfield. They have a Renfield trailer, which is the Nicolas Cage Dracula that we talked about several months ago. Interesting. It reminds me a little bit of the show. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Watiki wrote it. It was a movie, and he has a TV show. It's called The Things They Do in the Dark. It's about vampires.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And so this reminds me of it in a way, but kind of the rundown on this is a kind of reading off of the interwebs as I try to move windows around on my computer. Yes. It's a modern monster tale of Dracula, Laurel Servant, Nicholas Hoult, and I guess he played in Mad Max Road Fury. And he is the servant of Dracula, which is played by Nicolas Cage. Renfield trailer is largely in context of a support group, basically it's a funny trailer, and basically it's him trying to start a new life, and he's using the support group to try to give him confidence, even though
it's such a weird thing.
And it's a weird deal because the support group, they have no clue. But anyway, it is weird, but it is Nicolas Cage, and it'll be interesting. And
it is Nicolas Cage being every bit of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, exactly. I find it interesting. But this next one is also be coming out soon. This is one of Rookie's favorites. It's Cocaine Bear. It'll be coming out to a theater near you. Isn't that? It's
Cocaine Bear. That is the strangest title. And then when you watch it, it is exactly what you think it was going to be.
Yeah, it's no, yeah.
Very, yeah. A little bit of horror,
A little bit.
a little bit of suspense,
Yes.
a little bit of reality,
Tiny bit.
and a little bit of humor. I think my favorite line from the trailer is the kid going, that's something that kind of sticks. I think that's something that kind of sticks with a man after seeing someone eaten by a cocaine bear.
What's interesting about it is that it's loosely based off a real story, but the story is basically this. It was an incident in 1985 in which authorities were searching for lost cocaine that was hauled, and basically what happened is that I guess there was a haul happened upon basically there was a bag of drugs near Georgia Tennessee border. The drugs has been dropped from a high flying smuggler's plane, and who perished after his parachute failed to open. And so that's a true story. Basically, the 88. Basically, there was 88 pounds of nose candy for the bear, and the bear did not go berserk. Actually, it had a heart attack with all the cocaine that it snorted. So that's sad. That's sad. So yeah. So basically, yeah, it was all yeah. So cocaine bear is. So I don't know. I mean, which one would you rather have? You rather have cocaine bear, have a heart attack because of too much cocaine, or go berserk and kill all these people in the trailer? If you had to choose.
Well, for entertainment value,
Yes.
going berserk is kind of fun.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it did. When I heard the plot of this film, my first thought was, why has this not been on our stupid news?
Exactly. Exactly. Cocaine bear. And also in stupid news, not stupid news. It feels like stupid news after the two we just did. Okay, and now we know there's a lot going on with DC, and this next one will probably make me give you my DC fan card.
I know.
There is a spoiler alert, and if you, I don't really care if I spoil it to you. Basically, it's based off a comic book. It's Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 4, where Joker is pregnant. Yes, that's right.
Lovely.
Apparently, lovely. The story shows a confrontation between Joker and Santana, and basically, bottom line, I'm not going to talk about this too long, but anyway, she does this. She does this bippity boppity boo, and next thing you know, he's with child, and then of course you have baby Joker. That really, it's really
That's creepy looking.
Yeah, I would rather watch Cocaine Bear, but anyway. Wow. Speaking of,
they'll work this into the
well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Polyad.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of rumors out there. I hope it's not true. I know they're doing a search for Superman. There were some names that came up. Some of it I thought, okay, it can't be true. I don't want to mention it because it's all hearsay. But the people they did pick out, I thought if that does happen, I'm done with the DC universe. But anyway. So next,
speaking of, since we're on the subject of DC,
yes,
it does look like Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot are both out, and it does appear that Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam is at least not going to be in the first set of movies that will be coming out.
Also, on top of that, this is from IGN. WB execs are reportedly willing to move forward with Ezra Miller Flash in the new DCU universe.
I saw that. Did you read the article?
I did read the article. Basically,
It is one throwaway line.
Yeah.
In a article from Variety or the Hollywood Reporter, I don't remember which. Variety,
let's see.
I think.
Was it Variety? Let me see
I think it was
can
Variety.
find it here.
And it says basically exactly what that says.
Yes.
WB execs said they would be willing to move forward with Ezra Miller's Flash, but it's a little vague.
It says, owing this to Miller staying out of trouble. This is if he's staying out of trouble. And, I mean, it's almost like this condition, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. But again, this is kind of, their sources, inside DC sources, which it's Variety. So I don't know really what to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, Variety is pretty reputable, but it says DC execs. What it doesn't say is, it doesn't say Gunn and Safran.
Mm-hmm.
It says WB execs.
Yeah.
Which that could be anybody. That could be and that could have been said before Gunn and Safran were officially on board.
I mean, that's true.
So, because the whole quote is so vague.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I think the Flash would have to make a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
are we going with predictions yet?
Let's go ahead and do a prediction while we're at it. Go ahead.
Okay. So here is my prediction on the Flash.
Go right ahead.
Number one, I think it will definitely take the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It will probably do well for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it will be announced that it was not a success because it won't bring in the amount of money they actually needed.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it will probably be one of the top 3 or 4 grossing films for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they won't reach the number they need because they've spent a lot of money on reshoots,
mm-hmm.
paying Cavill and Gal Gadot to come in and shoot cameos
mm-hmm.
that are now no longer going to be used, but they spent the money anyway.
That's right.
All of the reshoots, all of the re-editing. I think my guess is the budget will have bloated to the point similar to Black Adam.
Yeah.
Where it simply cannot achieve the numbers it has to.
Yeah.
For them to say it was a success.
Yeah.
Even though it will probably still be one of the top 3 or 4 grossing movies, just like Black Adam. Black Adam was one of the top 3 or 4 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
But because the budget was so bloated, it's not going to be a success. That's my first prediction on the Flash. My second prediction on the Flash is that Ezra Miller will appear to be doing so well that they're going to put him out on the press junket.
Yeah.
And he is going to do something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're going to all regret it. And then they will quickly, everyone will move away from Ezra Miller and he will be left hanging dry. Well, that is my prediction.
Your prediction. My thought on that is I agree with you. I think up till now, DC, if anything, they do well first couple of weeks in the box office, but they have a tendency not to make their money back. Mm-hmm. They make too many changes midstream, mm-hmm. even with the Snyder cut, because it was halfway Snyder, and then after that, it went to someone else at the time.
Yeah,
and so anyhow, it just DC has no vision, and they're saying they have vision. They brought in the two guys, yeah,
Gunn and
Gunn
Safran.
but I don't know if they're going to be
But
able
they're
to
not
pull it
getting
off.
input in.
No.
Well, and they don't have any input here.
Yeah,
This existed before them.
yeah, exactly.
This is all on Warner Brothers original crew. The only thing they're not letting Gunn and Safran aren't going to be able to shut this one down.
My prediction for the DC franchise, as far as the direction that goes with Safran and Gunn, is that they are going to fail. I know that's quick,
You're going all the way.
going all the way. I don't think they'll be able to turn this ship around. I think they will alienate. This is my prediction. The changes that they make. Okay, I'm now not even. Okay, I'm not a. I say I'm a DC person, but I don't live and die DC. I grew up watching Batman. Michael Keaton is my Batman. The Batman. Okay, so, but I don't think they'll be able to turn around. If you like content like The Peacekeeper, which basically they're going to do a second season now, that was green-lighted.
Yes.
It might be for you. The deal is that they are going away from an audience. I mean, this is not even, you can talk about, this is not even doing fan service to big DC fans. I mean, the real fans, the ones that grew up, the one who's read the comics, the ones who've invested all this time and energy. What's going on now is an entire new direction, I believe, that they're going to go, and it's going to basically going to cause a lot of people to back away from the franchise. Maybe not to that extent, but I just have this feeling that this direction that they're going is not going to appeal to mainstream, nor to core fans. And but that's my prediction. I may be totally wrong. But the product that I've seen them work on so far, the only thing I've enjoyed has been the Suicide Squad, which I really liked that movie. Mm-hmm. But how many of those kind of movies can you make?
Yeah, I think one of my big fears for the DCU going forward with Gunn is if he lays into the camp. Mm-hmm. If he lets the whole universe be campy like Suicide Squad,
yeah,
I think that will be a mistake.
Yeah, it's not a Guardian of the Galaxy. This is a
no,
and I think DC. I just don't know. I'm nothing against Gunn. I just don't see him being the person to oversee the DC entertainment franchise. There's too many other people that I could see that are real fans of the property and can do well at it. Because when you make a bold statement saying that I want all the games, all the comics, all the films, all the TVs, all fall under this world, in the same world, that's a bold statement, and DC has never been good at that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it all plays out. I don't know. I'm not sure what's all going to happen. Do you think Jared Leto's Joker is going to come back?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, he's Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I mean, it's like, what are they going to do there? It's a musical coming out. Of course, that was pre Gunn.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're letting things kind of ride out, letting things play out. But man, that's a lot of money they're losing here.
I want to hear before I make any more judgments on the future of the whole DCU, I want to hear Gunn and Safran's 3-year plan that they supposedly have already put together.
Okay. Well, I'm just going off of today bold predictions. This is bold predictions.
Predictions sure to go wrong, as some of
Yeah.
my other podcasting friends say.
Yeah, I mean, predictions, I guarantee you 95% of the predictions we make tonight is going to be wrong, and that could be because I was such a big fan of Cavill, Godot. You know, I thought they were perfect in the roles they were placed. Also, too, the final season with Henry Cavill as The Witcher is coming up on Netflix. That's kind of sad because I think he made a great Witcher. I didn't watch much of the show, but what I've seen of him, he was just really good in it. And I'm sure because there was some disagreements in the direction it was going away from the actual novels, I know Cavill was not disagreed that the show was taking and the liberty of getting away from the books. And so now he is going to do a Warhammer series, from my understanding, would be on Prime.
That is what I'm hearing.
And apparently
It could be interesting.
And of course, he is a big Warhammer fan. I'm talking about from miniatures to painting them. I mean, he is. If he's one nerd, I would pick on my team if I had to have somebody to have my back. But anyway, also too, I don't know if you've seen this or not. One of my favorite TV shows in 2022 is Wednesday, believe it or not, on Netflix. I enjoyed it so much. They renewed it for season 2. Listen, I wasn't going to watch it. I didn't want to see another hokey Addams Family thing. I've seen all of that, so I wasn't going to see it. Then I heard someone talk about it that I would normally not ever hear someone talk about seeing the Addams Family. And this was more than the Addams Family. It was about the daughter Wednesday, but it was done so well. I enjoyed it. Have you seen it at all?
I have not watched it.
It's really good.
I have heard really, really good things about it. It is one of the shows. I've seen the trailers. I think it looks really good. It looks well done. I've heard the storylines are good, but I don't know why I never got into the newer versions of the Addams Family. I watched the old black and white reruns from decades and decades ago. But I just never got back into it.
No, I never believe me. I didn't care. I don't know how many were Christopher Lloyd who played, on the first one, I watched the first one. Of course, the black and white was the one I grew up watching, the reruns of it. And, but I didn't really care about the Addams Family. It wasn't anything I was, I wasn't a fan. I mean, it wasn't anything that was on my radar.
Yeah.
But watch an episode of this doesn't feel Addams Family to me. It's kind of a cross between, it has a little Harry Potter and a little a touch of the Addams Family, but it's all to do with the character Wednesday. Wednesday is the focus. The show is mainly about Wednesday. The others show up now and then, but it's mainly about Wednesday, and the actress is phenomenal. So I recommend at least watch an episode or two.
I will definitely check it out.
I watched it and I got hooked. I was so surprised that I got hooked. I binge watched the whole thing, and I thought, wow, okay, I didn't realize I enjoy this that much. So So anyway, I'm excited that they're going to do a second season and I think I read it was either the second or the third most streamed show ever on Netflix.
Wow. I believe it.
Yeah. Also in the news, coming February the 1st to Disney Plus will be Black Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. If I haven't seen it yet, so
I have not either. This is one of those situations where you were in the turmoil of moving, and
yes,
I have been in the process of helping my wife recover from major surgery, so neither of us have made it to the theaters lately.
exactly. Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, I'm excited. I will be excited to watch that. We should watch it and do a review of it. Once
That would
it
be
comes
good.
out.
That would be great. Yeah. Another thing is Bad Batch is back. I did not see the
Yes.
first episode yet, but apparently it
I'm
is
hearing
out.
great things.
Yeah, I look forward to watching it. I'm a big fan of it. I hadn't had a chance to watch it this week. This week been really crazy, and but no, I look forward to it. I really like the storyline and I like the characters.
Yep, I'm excited. I was excited for it to come back. I would have been really disappointed if they had dropped it at
Yeah, me
season
too.
1.
Me too. I would have also, and also in Marvel, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Apparently now that is the name. I think at one time they were talking about it was going to be Agatha, the House of Harkness, but the series
Yes,
will
House
be
of
actually
Harkness was originally
yes
the original title.
So in that, and also returning is Deborah Jarobe. She joins the cast of Agatha again, which if you know
Very
her,
cool.
if you know her from that 70s show, that's where she's from. Also, on a side note, that 90s show is coming out in a couple weeks on Netflix, and actually, it looks really. If you're a fan of that
Does it?
70s, if you're a fan of that 70s show, which I liked, it looks really good. So, I mean, it doesn't
That's
look.
cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna watch it and see what I think. So, but anyhow, that's a lot of nerdy news. But
That is a lot of nerdy news.
But I figure now, if we want to, we can go with a little thing called stupid news.
All right, let's do it. This is the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling. Cocaine
Well,
Bear.
stupid news, Cocaine Bear. That's all you really need to say is Cocaine Bear, but that's not really the topic for tonight, even though I could definitely see that being the topic.
Yeah.
But starting off on stupid news, and of course, we're starting off the year just fine with stupid news. We're keeping up the 2022 tradition of stupidity into the new year. Some of this is still left over from 2022, so hopefully 2023 will. Well, no, I don't want it to be less stupid. That's why we do this show. But interesting here. I don't know if you catch there's kind of a new thing now. I don't know, but going back to, the question is not so much what happened to you after you die, but what will happen to your body after you die? Well, it's a big decision that many people may not really want to think about, but now there's a new option. An alternative to usually practice of burials, cremation or burials, there's a human composting, legal. Human composting that's now just legal in New York. It is the 6th state in the U.S. to allow environmentally friendly practices, following California, Washington, Colorado, Vermont, and Oregon. The body is mixed with wood chips, alfalfa, and straw to naturally decompose over a course of a few months. The process generates about a cubic yard of soil your loved ones can use in their gardens and scatter you all over the place. It's $7,000 for human composting services. It's pretty similar to choosing a reusable bag instead of paper or plastic at the grocery store.
It is not. It is not even close to the same.
If you're looking to do more to help the environment and reduce your carbon footprint, the Washington-based company can help. According to the estimate, 5.3 million gallons of embalming chemicals like formaldehyde are buried every year with dead bodies, and cremation leads to release of about a metric ton of carbon dioxide per person. That's roughly the same as the average U.S. car produces in 3 months. You can donate the soil to Bell's Mountain Forest in Washington State, or family members can receive 8 cups of soil from each human. I can't believe I'm reading this. Composting, or can opt to pick up the entire pickup truck load. Oh.
That is the weirdest thing I have ever heard. Maybe
that's odd.
Here's some soil that you can pretend is your dead loved one. If this becomes mass market,
yes,
then it will definitely be like there's this big controversy in specifically pet cremation.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's this controversy in pet cremation. I don't even remember where I heard this. Probably some random podcast I was listening to. These pet cremation services,
Yeah.
are accused. They give you, a baggie or a box of ashes
Yeah.
that they say is your pet.
Yeah.
But a lot of the cremation services were being accused of doing mass cremations.
Yeah.
So that the bag of bits that you got
Yeah.
were not necessarily your pet.
Your pet. Yeah.
Or it could be, a mixed breed.
Yeah. That's. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't do well with that.
There's a line from a Monty Python sketch where a guy's mother dies and these guys come to pick her up. Actually, I don't remember if she's dead yet. Anyway, she would die, and they said, no, she had died. He was going to find out what he could do with her body, and one of the things they said was, well, we could do cremation, and we'll give you a lovely urn with some ashes that you can pretend are hers.
Nice. That's so sweet. That's lovely.
There will be a lawsuit.
There should be a lawsuit there. But speaking of stupid news, this is from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and imagine that. To one dominatrix. Let me read this again. To one dominatrix, some Florida lawmakers may have been misbehaving lately. Okay, now. A dominatrix trio headed by their latex leader, only known as Miss Cave. Oh my! Showed up to a city commission meeting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And the minute the creation of a local dominant and submissive dungeon, or referring to as DOMs and subs, the odd request happened as city's commissioners were reviewing a nearly $1 million contract for a waste processing plant with waste management. Quote, I found it interesting that you would spend almost $1 million to hide your secrets down the drain, Miss Cave, in front of local lawmakers were while wearing full latex suit with only her mouth visible. I propose that you use a quarter of that million to support DOMs and subs in Broward County. Build a dungeon created for us, by us, the taxpayers and voting citizens, she demanded. Now, DOMs and subs, that sounds like a sandwich shop, doesn't it? I mean,
an Italian. Sub
Yeah, dimes and subs. Come on in. Ignore the latex. Oh my goodness. Wow.
What?
And the last one is interesting.
more.
Oh yeah, I know it's going to be a long
There's
night,
always
folks.
more.
Always
There's
more.
always more that we could say.
We could say. An 88-year-old man presented himself to an emergency room of the Saint-Maze Hospital in Toulon, France, with a First World War shell stuck in his anus. That's right. The man claimed to have found this shell 18 centimeters long, 9 centimeters wide at his brother's house, according to a police officer. As a first step, the hospital management organized a partial evacuation from the facility to the main hall with the help of security and firefighters to manage.
That's why he showed up, to get a mass evacuation.
To manage this almost incredible bomb threat. It was then necessary to treat our atypical patient, who immediately assured that the shell was demilitarized, explained one of the hospital staff to the newspaper in France. To be sure, the hospital called a demining team, which quickly eliminated any risk of explosion, the shell being considered a collector's item. The surgery team then sprang into action, performing a visceral operation to retrieve the object through the abdomen. It reports that the patient has come out in good health. Now, nowhere in this article does it say anything how it got there in the first place.
Don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
And that's your stupid news.
That was the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling. Some people.
I mean, we went from this to this to this. Happy New Year.
Well,
Oh, my
at least
goodness.
at least it's nice to know we'll always have show prep.
That's right. That's
We
actually
will never not have something for the show.
that is absolutely true. So I guess back to since we wasted a half an hour. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's coming up in 2023.
Yep.
Anything?
And we've
you
already talked about some of it.
Yeah, we did. We did a little bit of everything tonight. So there's not really a major theme, except some things we want to talk about that's coming up in 2023. If we have any predictions, there you go.
I predict that that Fast 10, which is currently the title of the movie,
Yes.
will be called Fasten Your Seatbelts Everywhere. I predict that will be the tagline for way more article titles than it should.
Mm-hmm.
Fasten your seatbelts for Fast 10. That will be the title for almost every article about this movie.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
Sorry.
No. I actually I saw the title. I thought, oh, very original.
Fast X,
Fast X,
because it's
Oh, my
Roman
goodness.
numeral.
Yeah, exactly. 10.
Fast 10.
Couple of things I'm looking forward to this year, which is a lot of it will be on Disney Plus. I'm looking forward to the new season of Mandalorian.
Yes.
They say it's coming out February 2023.
Still don't have a date, a firm date on that.
Still don't have a firm date on that. They are also going to start the Young Jedi Adventure in spring 2023. I guess that's more, directed to a younger audience. I'm not for sure. It says the High Republic is coming to the screen. And I guess the Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures will follow a group of younglings in what Lucasfilms calls the first full-length animated Star Wars series created for preschools, early grade schoolers, and their families. The show might be made for little Padawans. Okay, never mind. I don't want to read all that.
Yeah,
and
I
also-
wonder if this is
Yeah.
going to be. I wonder if this is going to be in the vein of
Yeah.
was it the 90s or was it the 80s that there was Star Wars,
Oh, yeah.
2 Star Wars cartoons,
Yeah.
one called Ewoks and one called Robots.
Don't do it.
I wonder if it will be like that or if it will be better.
I hope it's better. I think it's really odd. The youngsters like Star Wars like it is. You don't really need to dumb it down for the kids.
Yeah, I got to agree.
I don't like when they do that. I mean, I can understand. You can tone down some of the darkness. You can tone down some of the stuff, but you really,
Yeah.
but in reality, you don't need to talk. You don't have to dumb it down for the kids. They're a lot smarter
No.
than some adults. So
No, I mean, you hide the gore. You don't,
yeah,
if somebody loses an arm, you just don't show it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
know,
basically.
But I'm with you on that. I don't know that they need to create a little people Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think keep it clean,
keep it clean.
keep it, don't show people dying on screen, and I think you're good.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to go Legos, then hey, have fun.
That's true.
I mean, also too. I'm just kind of going through some stuff I've been seeing and these are things I look forward to. Star Wars Vision is going to come with a volume 2. Remember?
Yes.
We went. I think the first time around was anime. I'm hoping. Apparently, from what I read the last time, they're actually going to different studios throughout the world and letting these different studios take on these kind of like the last one was Japanese interpretation and anime.
This is going to, from what I've read, this one is going to be a broader base of animation studios.
Okay.
So I think there's going to be a studio from India. I don't know where all the studios are going to be, but there are a couple of the studios from last time are returning.
Oh, good. I really like the Japanese anime. They had some really good stuff. I'm kind of hoping that they come back. Really enjoyed it. And what I liked about it, they were like really small, maybe 15 minutes on some of it.
All of them were. I think the longest one was 20.
Yeah.
Most were under 15.
Yeah, they were really fun. It was really cool, the art style. Also, too, the big thing I'm looking forward to is Ahsoka. She's apparently going expect it to be mid to late 2023. Basically, it means sometimes in 2023. But I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm guessing October.
That seems about right. My prediction on this is that this is going to be a continuation of Rebels, and where Ahsoka is going after Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I
think this will be pre-Mandalorian, where she showed up, or you think it's going to be post-Mandalorian?
I think it's going to be during that same time.
Okay.
It's going to be New Republic time, if that's what we're talking about. Yeah, it's going to be New Republic time. It's going to be because in the last Mandalorian, when he met Ahsoka, she was looking for Thrawn, and during that time. So I think, and I believe they're still looking for Ezra Bridgers as well, who in the Rebels, if they're keeping the continuity, ended up with in the situation where I guess they kind of disappeared, where Ezra basically summoned the space whales.
Love me some space whales.
Love me some space whales. That's right. And of course, we don't know where they ended up. And I'm curious how they're going to incorporate space whales. How that's all going to happen, and what happened with Ezra Bridgers and Grand Admiral Thrawn.
If you're gonna find Ezra, you at least have to address
the space whales. Yeah,
in the room. Even if you don't show them, if they have no consequence, you at least have to mention that. What were they called?
I don't know.
I can't remember what they're called.
I can't remember.
They had a
either.
specific name.
Yeah,
I think you have to at least mention that. They took us all. They took us to blah. Yeah, and that's enough. But
yeah, that's it. You address the elephant or the space whale in the room, basically.
Exactly.
And yeah. So anyway, I think it's gonna. I think also if we're going to talk about Ezra Bridgers, I think also the young Mandalorian, a female Mandalorian from Rebels may show up as well. I wish I could remember her name. I cannot remember the character's name. Some people will be yelling at me right now with her, but anyhow, so I look forward to that. I do think that's going to continue. I don't know. I'm curious whether Mandalorian will show up within the Ahsoka.
I can see that,
but very small. I predict it to be very small. Not.
But you don't want it to.
No.
You don't want it to be Mandalorian season 3.5.
No, I don't. No.
A bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't want that. Not at all. I think Ahsoka could carry its own.
I think so too.
I
think it would be a mistake. I don't mind if he shows up. And it might be okay.
Yeah.
If she calls in a favor.
Yeah.
And he shows up for one battle or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it will be better if they just leave it be.
I agree with you. There's another one too called Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Yes. I don't know much about this.
Apparently, Jude Law will headline the series, believe it or not.
Oh,
this is what I've read, but it's all from Lucasfilms. But yeah, apparently on Disney Plus. But I'm trying to look at what else.
It's going to be the same time period as The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. It will focus on his young colleagues. The series will follow a group of children lost in the galaxy trying to find their way home. It will place during the era of the New Republic, putting it alongside the events of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Gotcha. Okay.
So I wonder if that will... Is this going to be live action or is this...
Well, see, that's what I want to know.
Animated.
I wonder... Jude Law
because if it's live action, I wonder if it could play into Ahsoka at some point.
That's what I'm wondering too,
or The Mandalorian for that matter.
IMDb live action. Yes.
Wikipedia says it will be live action,
and
it says it's supposed to be released this year.
Okay,
but we do have some cast.
IMDb
have some other casting.
IMDb is in.
We don't have a date. I haven't heard anything about.
The only person I see in the series cast in IMDb is Jude Law. That's the only one. So
Jude Law is the only one confirmed.
I just see producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and just mostly production staff and stuff like that. So. I don't see anything else on that, but good. I'm glad it's live action. And Jude Law, I like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always got confused with Jude Law, and Jude Law always remind me of. I always got confused early in the days. Edward McGregor and Jude Law. Sometimes they kind of had both the same look at one time, but anyway. But yeah, that's good to know. Also, it's pretty much what we've got on the Star Wars scene. They still up and down. I don't know. I don't know who. I can't remember where I read it, but they're still talking about another trilogy of Star Wars movies, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you honestly? A good question is for future predictions. I don't know if it's a future prediction, but Me personally, honestly, I think Star Wars could actually survive through streaming services on
I
TV
think
show
so.
content.
I think so. I think here's my prediction that Disney will want to do a new trilogy,
Yeah.
and I think that is fine as long as they just pick a new trilogy with
Yes.
a whole group of people that
Yes.
are unrelated to the
Yes.
Skywalkers
I
or
agree.
Rey,
Yes.
and it can be in the same universe. It can be way early or way late,
Yeah.
but just leave the Skywalker saga as is.
Yeah.
Don't try to add to that. Just add to the universe, and I think could
Yeah.
be good.
For me, I think would be really good if one of two things, and I know this fans will probably yell at me, but either do something that has nothing to do with mystical Jedi, or at least has to do with your Han Solos. I'm using an example,
Yeah,
just freedom fighters. I mean, I don't know how you're going to handle this. Now, actually, if I had it my way, I would go back to the very beginning of the Sith and the Jedi's, Acolytes, basically with the series that's coming out. And Acolytes is, I think it's kind of cool because I would like to see some shows that focus. I would love to have a show that's focused on the Empire's perspective of things. It's do you ever seen what was it? They did a cops parody of Stormtroopers. And I don't know if have you seen that before?
I don't remember if I've seen that one, but I've seen
Yeah.
some,
Yeah, it was
I've
like
seen lots of things like that.
Yeah. So anyway, that did pretty good. Was a fan favorite back in the beginning of YouTube back in the days, and basically it had the perspective of the stormtroopers. As far as they were concerned, they were good guys. They were keeping the peace. And what's funny, there were scenes where normally, in New Hope, where Luke and Obi-Wan shows up at Luke's home and finds his aunt and uncle burned. Well, on the flip side, as far as this short fan film, basically the troopers had nothing to do with it. There was an argument between his aunt and uncle, and the next thing you know, she did something that accidentally blew them both up, caught them on fire, and stormtroopers, they couldn't do anything about it. They were trying to take care of. They were there for a domestic, basically. They were called in for a domestic. So I think it'd be interesting.
I have seen that.
Yeah, I would like to see something that kind of shows that.
Kind of like that moment in, was it Mandalorian? Yes, that moment in Mandalorian where the stormtroopers on their speeder bikes, they've got Grogu in a bag, and they're trying to shoot a can or something.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
That could be fun. Yeah, but
I was gonna say, before we wrap up, are you excited about any of the upcoming Marvel stuff? We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, and we've got let's see, what else? We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which a lot of people are saying is going to be the last one. And apparently Dave Bautista all but outed himself that he dies in this movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got those two, and then we've got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the animated Sony picture, which I think that will probably be really good and do really well. We have the Marvels, which we don't know much about. Don't know much about that, but it will be kind of it'll be an interesting crossover because we're going to see basically 3 Captain Marvels,
Well,
2
we're
of
gonna,
which
yeah,
we've really only seen on streaming.
yeah.
Let's see, is there any other? Is that it for Marvel? As far as the movies go, I think that's
First,
it for the movies.
I think so. The Marvels could
Do
be
any of those excite you at all?
the Guardians. The word excite really doesn't. Something about this phase of Marvel hasn't really excite me. I'm more excited about seeing what's the streaming services. Secret Invasion. I'm excited to see. They're actually going to be a new What If season 2.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. They're going to be Echo, which is basically kind of part of the whole Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, from Hawkeye.
Yes.
I'm excited to see that. Loki season 2 is coming. I'm excited about that. Agatha, House of Harkins. But see, these are all streaming shows that I'm really excited about. For some reason, the movies don't grab me. I don't know why. I'm going to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to see Ant-Man. I'm gonna watch those.
Yeah.
The Marvels. Just because I want to see I just want to see the continuity and how everything is interwoven with Marvel. If you're gonna
Yeah. If you're gonna stick with it, you want to see it all. I'm a little the same way. I think I'm more excited about the streaming stuff
yeah.
than I am the films. And honestly, I think right now we've got phase 4 that happened,
Yeah.
and we're about to start phase 5. But it didn't feel like phase 4 really went anywhere.
No, I don't
Phase
think so.
4 was just kind of, oh, crud. We just did everything, and we should really start building things up.
Yeah.
And maybe they did. Maybe there will be tiny threads that all get pulled together later
Yeah, maybe.
that we're not going to see. But I feel like phase 1 felt more cohesive than phase 4.
Yeah.
Phase 4 should have felt like a new phase 1.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it did.
No. No, I mean, phase 4, I think one of the biggest movies of phase 4 was basically, of course, it was the Sony, Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man. Yep.
Yeah. No
No Way
Way
Home.
Home. And I think that to me was probably the biggest one. Thor: Love and Thunder, not so much. It was fun, but not so much. Eternals. I mean, it just, again, my favorite stuff was streaming services. Moon Knight. I loved Moon Knight.
Yeah.
What a great. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but the streaming services got the shows on Disney Plus, the Marvel shows, let's put it that way, the Marvel shows that you can catch on Disney Plus. I'm more excited about those shows. It's got my attention, and I don't know because these shows allow me to connect deeper with the characters, or they have more time to develop, or they have more time. I don't know what it is. I think the quality is really good, and the quality of the actors are really good.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they have time to do what they want to do in the story. It doesn't feel forced. It seems organic. So it's, I don't know. Do you think that Marvel there may be a fizzle going on? Some fizzling that might be happening? Maybe people, do you think maybe there, yeah, I mean.
I don't know that fizzling is the right word. I think, obviously 2020 screwed up a lot of things.
Yeah, it did.
It screwed up a lot of plans. But I honestly feel like phase 4 just didn't, it was like, we haven't quite figured out where we're going.
Yeah.
for phase 5 and 6.
Yeah.
But so we're going to just throw a bunch of stuff out there,
Yeah.
and we're going to throw in some Easter eggs, and we're going to hopefully come back to those.
Yeah.
And then, then we had 2020, which threw everything off, and
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. I think they had a better overall plan for the phase 1 through 3 from the get-go than they did when they got to phase 4. I think, I mean, Feige has done some amazing things.
Yeah, I love
but
Feige.
whoever was planning the big scope of things, I think they simply hadn't figured out what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we've got to put out some movies,
Yeah.
whether we know where we're going or not.
Yeah.
I feel like lately, movies have become less and less. Going to the theater, 2020 definitely did a job on the movie going public.
Yeah, I agree.
And going to the movies has become less and less a thing. Even after all the theaters came back, you and I have both experienced it, and we've heard stories from other people. Big blockbuster movie, you go in, and you there's not any worries about
No.
finding a seat.
No, it's not.
You
Yeah.
know, you're going to be able to sit where you want, and big blockbuster movies just aren't making their money back,
No.
which just means people are not going like they used to,
Yeah.
and they're spending too much.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I think the whole situation is a little weird. I think the streaming services have more control over the situation. There's less, maybe less risk, since they already have a fan base locked
Yeah.
in, because
Yeah.
you're paying monthly for these services.
Yeah.
So it's a little less risky to put it. It is less risky, because the goal there, anytime you put out new content, it is to gather some new subscribers, but more so to hold on to the existing subscribers.
Yeah.
What you don't want is a mass exodus like Netflix had.
Yeah.
So you have to keep putting out content,
Yeah.
and you keep putting out so much content, something's got to give somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it was the big plan for, as far as Marvel and Disney is
Yeah.
concerned. I think the what gave was we didn't have a big plan for the whole future.
Yeah. I think part of it too, and we did an episode a long time ago where Feige wanted to get away from long contracts. Because remember the first several phases, there were contracts. Every one of those actors had contracts that they had to be in, 6 or 7 movies. And
Yep.
and that right there, you were able to build because you had contracts on each individual, and you knew you were going to have Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk. You knew you were going to have all these.
I have to find a spot for Chris Evans to fit into 5 movies over the course of the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Whatever the contracts were. I totally agree. I think moving away from the long-term contracts is probably a fail.
Yeah.
I think that was a mistake. I get why they did it, but at the same time, it makes it hard to get super invested in a bunch of these characters, because you don't know if they're going to stick around.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Marvel hasn't had this issue as much as some like DC and Star Wars, where we've got long-term contracts, and then the actors does something ridiculous or inappropriate or something that gets taken as inappropriate. whether it was or not,
Yeah.
or did something 10 years ago that was inappropriate now,
Yeah.
James Gunn. And so you got this. So at the same time, I understand is like, I don't want to put these big contracts out there and we got to pay out on them, whether we do make a film or not, because this guy's an idiot. I get where he's coming from. I understand the situation. I understand the difficulty, but at the same time, I think it makes it harder to say we're definitely going to make, this is definitely going to be our story. Like,
Yeah.
what would they do? The guy that plays Kang right now, Kang the Conqueror,
Yeah.
if he doesn't have a long-term contract,
Yeah.
what do they do if he goes, yeah, I'm out?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Just gonna have to recast him.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, that's been the success of Marvel, that they haven't had to do a recasting for a character for and I think they need to look at that again, because if they want to create another band of Avengers, they're going to have some kind of contract. I mean, Doctor Strange. I mean, Cumberbatch. I don't know whether I haven't heard anything about whether he's still. I mean, the way it ended, it sounds like to me there'll be another movie with him in it.
Yeah,
But,
sounds like it.
I mean, he would be a great. I don't know. For me, I like Cumberbatch. I think he would be a great glue for the Avengers.
And he definitely is right now.
Yeah.
In the MCU, he is kind of the one thread that's holding everything together.
Kind of like the whole Tony Stark thing, It's so we'll see with that. But yeah, to make this happen, they really need to looking at what they want to do with the franchise, what they want to do. Do they want to create another Avengers type of creation like the first several phases? And to do that, you have to have actors that are signed on, at least, 6 or 7 iterations of something.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
agree.
Yeah. So, but that's all I have. I know we made it past the hour, which
we always do.
We always do. So everybody out there, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. You can check out all our content, our podcasts, our YouTube on www.speakingnerdy.com, or like the kids like to say, speakingnerdy.com. And only us old people go www. But and catch us next week. Again, our content comes out on every Tuesday.
Yes.
Our audio podcast. You can catch us on any of your favorite podcasting applications that you love to listen to. And also, we are also on the YouTubes on Tuesdays as well that we release. You can check us out on social media, Facebook, the tweets, well, not quite tweets, but we're tweeting now and then. The Instagrams we are on, and then whatever else you can find. The grams. So, but yeah, check us out. And any final words, Mr. Ricky Pope?
May the force be with you.
Oh, that's great. Yes, there we go. May the force be with you. That was the wrong one, wasn't it?
Space whales.
That's all you have to say.
All right, let's end it.
All right.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend Ricky Pope, my friend compadre, and all that in a bag of chips. Yes. Man. Are you tired?
I am tired. I am wiped out.
Well, we give so much.
We do. We give so much.
We give so much.